Titanic sinking, conspiracy theories. April 14th, 1912. The air crackled with excitement. The Titanic asterisk, a floating palace of steel and dreams, sliced through the inky black waters of the North Atlantic, billed as unsinkable. She carried over 2,200 souls, a microcosm of Edwardian society stratified by class, ambition, and hope. Millionaires like John Jacob, Astor rubbed shoulders with starry-eyed immigrants yearning for a new life in America. Orchestras played, champagne flowed, and the ship throbbed with the pulse of human endeavor. But beneath the veneer of luxury, whispers of unease stirred. A fire raged in one of the coal bunkers, a secret the White Star Line desperately tried to conceal. Perhaps this hidden inferno was more than just an inconvenience. Perhaps it was a harbinger of disaster. The iceberg struck at 11:40 p.m., a seemingly glancing blow that sealed the ship's fate. Initial reactions ranged from curiosity to mild annoyance. Few truly grasped the gravity of the situation. As the hours ticked by, however, panic began to spread like a virus. The inadequate number of lifeboats became painfully apparent, a stark symbol of the class divide that permeated even the face of death. Women and children first, a noble ideal, but one that condemned many men to a frigid end. As the ship tilted further, the opulent interiors became scenes of chaos and desperation. But even amidst the pandemonium, a few inconsistencies began to emerge, whispers of switched identities, insurance scams, and a sister ship lurking nearby. The official inquiry, led by Lord Mersey, concluded that the sinking was due to excessive speed in dangerous waters and a lack of lifeboats. Negligence, pure and simple. But the report failed to quell the growing unease. Survivors spoke of muffled explosions, odd maneuvers, and a sense that the disaster was more than just an accident. Conspiracy theories began to take root, fueled by unanswered questions and a deep-seated distrust of the powerful elite. Titanic, it seemed, had taken secrets to the bottom of the ocean, along with its passengers. One of the most persistent theories centers around a ship swap. The Titanic, it's alleged, was secretly switched with its older sister ship, the Olympic, had been involved in a serious collision a year earlier, and the White Star Line was facing financial ruin. The theory suggests that the deliberate sinking of the Olympic, disguised as the Titanic, was an elaborate insurance scam. Proponents point to subtle discrepancies in the ship's designs and the suspiciously low number of passengers on board for her maiden voyage. Was this a calculated act of fraud, or simply an attempt to cut losses? Adding fuel to the fire is the figure of J.P. Morgan, the powerful American financier who owned the White Star Line. Morgan was originally scheduled to travel on the Titanic, but canceled his trip at the last minute. Several other prominent figures also mysteriously withdrew from the voyage. Was this a coincidence, or did Morgan have prior knowledge of the impending disaster? Some believe he orchestrated the sinking to eliminate rivals who opposed his plans for a central banking system in the United States. A truly Machiavellian scheme, if true. The narrative takes a darker turn, with accusations of foul play during the rescue efforts. The Californian, another ship owned by the White Star Line, was reportedly only a few miles away from the asterisk Titanic, but failed to respond to distress signals. Captain Stanley Lord of the asterisk Californian asterisk claimed that his ship was surrounded by ice and unable to assist. However, numerous witnesses reported seeing rockets fired from the asterisk Titanic asterisk, indicating a vessel in distress. Did Captain Lord deliberately ignore the pleas for help, perhaps under orders from above? His reputation was ruined, but he maintained his innocence until his death. The plot thickens when we examine the role of the Jesuit priests. Father Francis Brown, a Jesuit priest, traveled on the asterisk Titanic asterisk from Southampton to Queenstown, Cobb, and disembarked before the fateful crossing. He was an avid photographer and took numerous pictures of the ship and its passengers. However, some conspiracy theorists believe that Father Brown was actually a spy, gathering intelligence on the passengers and the ship's layout for J.P. Morgan. They claim that he delivered coded messages to Morgan upon his arrival in Ireland. The Jesuit order, of course, denies any involvement. As the investigation continues, we uncover inconsistencies in the survivor accounts. Some passengers claimed to have heard explosions before the iceberg struck, while others insisted that the ship broke in two before sinking, a detail initially denied by the White Star Line. These discrepancies suggest that there may have been a deliberate attempt to control the narrative and suppress certain details. Were these survivors simply mistaken, or were they being silenced? Then there's the curious case of the missing binoculars. Second Officer David Blair was removed from his position just before the asterisk Titanic asterisk set sail, and in his haste, he forgot to hand over the key to the binocular locker. As a result, the lookouts had no binoculars on the night of the sinking. Could the disaster have been averted if the lookouts had been properly equipped? Some believe that Blair's removal was deliberate, a calculated move to increase the chances of an accident. The official explanation points to human error and negligence, but the persistent rumors and unanswered questions refuse to fade away. Was the asterisk Titanic deliberately sunk as part of an insurance scam? Was it a political assassination disguised as a maritime tragedy? The truth, it seems, lies buried deep beneath the waves, obscured by layers of misinformation and deliberate deception. But a pivotal piece of evidence emerges decades later. Analysis of the steel used in the asterisk Titanic's asterisk hull reveals a high sulfur content, making it brittle and prone to fracture in cold temperatures. This metallurgical flaw could explain why the seemingly minor impact with the iceberg caused so much damage. Had the White Star Line cut corners on materials to save money, unknowingly condemning its passengers to a watery grave? The focus shifts to the shipbuilders, Harland and Wolff. Were they aware of the flaws in the steel? Did they raise concerns with the White Star Line only to be ignored? The pressure to complete the asterisk Titanic asterisk on time and within budget was immense, and it's possible that corners were cut in the rush. But did this negligence amount to criminal recklessness? Another layer of complexity arises with the discovery of previously unknown documents. These documents suggest that the White Star Line was aware of the fire in the coal bunker, but chose to downplay its significance. They feared that a delay in the voyage would damage their reputation and cost them valuable revenue. Were they so focused on profit that they knowingly put their passengers at risk? The investigation reveals a web of interconnected factors: flawed steel, a raging fire, a possible ship swap, and a deliberate cover-up. Each element contributes to the tragedy, making it difficult to pinpoint a single cause. Perhaps there was no grand conspiracy, but rather a series of unfortunate events compounded by human greed and negligence. Yet the lingering questions remain. Why were so many influential figures absent from the voyage? Why was the * Californian so slow to respond? And why were the survivor accounts so inconsistent? The official explanation, while plausible, fails to address these nagging doubts. The Titanic *, it seems, will forever be shrouded in mystery.